Hey guys, thanks for joining me on another edition of The Gift of Gab. Today I have a channel question that has come in about a really interesting topic. It is about non-competes and it is about conflicts. Stick around. So I've talked about conflicts on the channel before, and there's still a little bit of confusion about this. One of my viewers wrote in, Joya, and she said, I have an issue holding me back. A VO said that doing commercials and giving open-ended licensing for those commercials can harm your career because you won't be able to work for competitors of that company ever. They said that new VOs are starting wrong by limiting and cutting their income by doing forever licensing and not restricting campaign licensing. So how do I work with the legality of non-compete clauses floating over my head? If someone can answer this, I'll start today. Well, I will answer this. And Joya, then I challenge you. You must start today. So what you're talking about is non-compete clauses, and you're talking about competitive license within a market. See, here's the thing. A lot of voiceover work, does not come with a license or a contract or an agreement because they're very short-term use applications. And especially in the non-union sector, this is super, super common. However, big budget products, union productions, and something where a client is planning on using you long term and you are potentially going to be the voice of a campaign, whether it be for a short period of time or a long period of time, means that you are essentially entering into an agreement either on paper in a contract form or just kind of verbally. And that is a non-compete clause. All it means is that if I do work for McDonald's on a national scale, I am agreeing to not do work for any other fast food restaurant while that McDonald's commercial is airing, because then I potentially create a conflict for that client having my voice appear on one of their competitors' ads. On a smaller scale, if I do work for, let's say, a car dealership in a particular state or city, I am basically agreeing to not do work for any other car dealership or automotive related product in that marketplace. But see, that's the thing about non-competes and how these clauses work. It's only within the sector of that particular scope of work. So just because I'm doing something for McDonald's doesn't mean I can't work for AT&T, which is in a completely different industry and area. It doesn't mean I couldn't do something for Home Depot, for Wayfair. There's scores of other opportunities. This is how we stay employed. This is how voice actors continue to work and build up their repertoire. You're only limiting yourself in that one particular category. Now, the key to this is when there is a written contract, when there is a paper agreement, sometimes clients will try to throw in a non-compete clause that lasts for a longer period of time. You might record something that they're only going to use for a few months, but they may say, we want you to agree to not work for competitors in this category for a year. That can be tricky, and those are the kinds of jobs we scrutinize because that can really prevent us from some other really great opportunities coming around. So you see, it's not as tricky as you think. I think that either the first person that was giving this advice, it maybe was a little convoluted or perhaps it was misunderstood. But non-competes are pretty standard. It's just a courtesy of saying to a client, if I'm working for you, I'm not going to directly go work for one of your competing companies or a competing company. That's all it really is. And again, it can be on paper, it can be in a contract form, or it can be just more of a verbal. So sometimes it's literally just a matter of courtesy. If I don't have a non-compete in place with a particular client, but one of their competitors contacts me and asks me to do work for them, I may just call my client and say, hey, How do you feel about this? Is this a problem for you guys? You'd be amazed by how many clients go, yeah, no big deal, we don't mind. It's actually kind of surprising. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is with voiceover, it's not as bad as with something like on camera or television. Think about some of the really well-known spokespeople that we see in like the insurance world, like Flo from Progressive or Jake from State Farm. They're pretty locked down. It would be really, really hard for Flo to do commercial advertising for any other company and not have her almost immediately be recognized as Flo from Progressive. But guess what? She's also paid more for that. That's because that company is literally saying, we want you exclusively. And that is something that advertisers, under the right circumstance, are definitely willing to pay for. In voiceover, trust me, it's not that intense. Otherwise, none of us would work. It would be crazy. I do commercials day in and day out for scores of clients for all kinds of sectors all over the country. It is only under rare circumstances that non-competes come into play and become an issue in my day-to-day work. So I hope that helps. I hope that clears that up a little bit. Thank you so much for your question. Guys, keep them coming. I love the interaction. I love to be able to help you on your voiceover journey and through your careers. Feel free to shoot me an email, send me a message through my website. Thanks so much. Talk soon.